Hey, Scruffy. How you doing? So, no rain today, huh? So I got some sun. Much better day than yesterday. So I have more turkey treats for you. I don't think I'm going to give you the fat drippings tonight. I'll give you something a little leaner. I think I still got too much food though. So you got your canned party cuts with real turkey, your kibble, and then the turkey neck, the real turkey, not the canned stuff. Okay. Oops. Bumped the chair. So yeah, there was a little more turkey neck than I expected tonight. I portioned it for about 3 servings, and there was a little bit more than I thought there was tonight. So I didn't want to split it into a fourth. Thought that'd be too little. And then I think the can itself also had a slightly larger allocation than I expected, because I've been splitting up the can into pieces, and I think I took less the prior days, so there was a little bit more today. So both of them added up to a little more food than I expected. And then on top of that, I was trying to pour the kibble, and I poured a little too much because I made a mistake with the kibble the other day where when I refilled my containers with kibble because they're empty or near empty, I forgot that one of the reasons it was empty was because I poured a whole bunch of kibble into the automated pet food dispenser. And I needed to take that kibble out first, but since I had already filled up my containers, there was no room for the food that was still in the dispenser. So I've actually been using the food in the dispenser as my storage container until I empty it. So it's just about empty now. And I was trying to pour out the last of the kibble, and it spilled a little too much, and I put a little too much into his food. There's still a little tiny bit left. Tomorrow night will be the last, I think, of the dry kibble in the pet feeder, and then I go back to my standard container. So Scruffy's getting a little extra food tonight, so it's another reason I don't need to give him the drippings and fat of the turkey. So he'll be fine tonight. And then it didn't rain today, so don't feel like I need to brighten his day with extra fat and tasty stuff. Although tomorrow and I think the following days actually we might get rain. So today might just be a break in the weather pattern. But yeah, it got cold today, and I think in the early morning it was really cold. I think it actually, I don't know if it got to freezing, but I think it's starting to get close to that realm. I don't know if it's going to continue cooling down or not. So we've had temperatures like this before, so this is nothing new for Scruffy. I've tried to lay out blankets and little crevices of things he can take shelter in if he needs it around the deck. I tried to, decking out his carrier, So he'd use it as a little house or something, but yeah, he doesn't seem. Yeah, he seems to be afraid of it, so he won't go in it. And then the separate thermal blanket I bought him, he seems afraid of that or really hates it because he never uses it. Even when even if I put the blanket out, it's actually out right now. It's on the table, and he never. I think with one except for one day, he's never using the thermal blanket. He does seem to like the white comforter, so he'll use that. And then the blue blanket, the moving blanket that I leave out, seems like that. And sometimes I see there's particles of blue stuck to his fur because it kind of disintegrates on him. Yeah, they're cheap moving blankets I got on sale at Harbor Freight a long time ago. And yeah, I think it was, it was 2 winters ago. Yeah, one time I tried to use, I brought out a parabolic heat dish, and I was trying to do two things with it. So one, I was trying to heat up his carrier because I was trying to introduce him to the carrier and get him interested in it. But yeah, like I said, he's completely afraid and paranoid of the carrier, so I can't get him to use it. So heating the carrier did nothing for him. And then second, I just tried to keep the carrier out. So I tried to get him to sit in front of it just while it was out here, just to see if he wanted to warm himself up. And yeah, he actually sat in a place that was avoiding the heat. So he didn't seem to like the heat. Weird cat, because it was cold that night. So I've given up trying to do anything more. And that's the reason I bought him the thermal blanket, which again he doesn't use, because I figured if he's not going to use anything electronic, and at least I can try to give him a passive thermal blanket that's warm, but doesn't like that either. I guess he has really thick fur, keeps him warm, so it doesn't get that cold here. It's very unusual to get this close to freezing temperatures, and we're not even there yet. I think we're starting to get close, but we're not there. Occasionally we get under freezing, but those are pretty rare. Once in a blue moon we'll get snow, but it's extremely rare. This nice car alarm is going off. Really annoying. So I'm going to get Scruffy's food. Okay. So I didn't see Scruffy all day except when I came out with for lunch. I actually didn't even see him at the door, so I was actually wondering where he went. And then after I opened the door, then yeah, he came walking over. Hey, Scruffy. How you doing? Didn't see you. So the weather cleared up. So yeah, maybe you're enjoying the weather. I thought you might be waiting at the door, but yeah, since the weather's nice, that explains it. So yeah, I got your kibble and water. Looks like it dried up a little, so maybe you want some water today. Okay. Well, you want to bring out your stuff? Yeah? I woke you up, huh? Yeah. So you got your food. So if I try to come out now, will you hiss at me? Yeah? Okay. So get your water. Okay. Okay. Oops. Hit the chair. So that car alarm stopped for a few seconds and then it started going again. Yep. Just stopped again. And I could hear the alarm at certain points. It kind of droned on as if the battery was getting low or something, but then it just kept going. Reminds me of an incident. It's also on a cold day, actually. One of my neighbors is in the middle of the night. His horn just went off, got stuck, and it was like as if somebody was just holding the horn down. And so I went out to take a look. And then my neighbor came out also because his car, he heard it too, and yeah, he just it was an old truck, and he's pretty good at fixing these things, fixing trucks and fixing cars, and so he knows his way around. And yeah, he seemed to know exactly what he needed to rip out to basically disable a horn. I think he said it had something to do with basically the part was really old, and I think the cold was affecting it, and basically just kind of, I guess something probably with the weather, like caused something to fail or force it into a certain position or something. So he just like disabled the whole thing. So it's kind of cold right now. So I'm wondering. I don't think it's as cold as when my neighbor's truck failed, but yeah, it's actually kind of cold right now. My hands are getting numb. That car's making noise again. Let's see. I used to have so I bought a used car a long time ago, and the previous owner had installed a aftermarket alarm on it, and because it was an aftermarket one, it wasn't really integrated with the car, so it was basically just a noisemaker. It like didn't disable the engine or do anything other than just make noise if you set off the alarm. And I remember I had multiple problems with that alarm because I think a couple times it actually just went off for no reason, even though I, hit the button to disable it, and I think it was said it was disabled, and yeah, the car would just start sounding off the alarm, and I'll be desperately trying to figure out how to get the stupid thing to shut off. And then the other problem I had was there was the alarm on the keychain. I had this, I consider it a design problem. Basically, the button was high enough and exposed such that a lot of times in my pocket, the button would get depressed, and what would happen is that the alarm would be depressed like all day in my pocket or something, and so by the time I get back, the battery is dead, and I can't do anything to toggle the alarm. And yeah, basically, I stopped using it just because it was, it's more trouble than it's worth. And then, yeah, nobody cares anymore if your alarm's going off. Just assume your alarm's going off for no reason. It's actually a really good car, other than the alarm. It was a Honda Accord. It was, rock solid. Yeah. It got pretty good gas mileage. Yeah, didn't have any major problems with it. There's that alarm again. And then somebody rear-ended me really hard, totaled my car. I got whiplash. That sucked. And yeah, the car was totaled, so I couldn't get it fixed. And insurance company kind of lowballed me. It was more of the, they used the Blue Book values, but yeah, I learned the hard way that the Blue Book values don't really reflect real life, because I was trying very hard to get basically the same car, with equivalent mileage, and the thing I discovered was it's basically impossible. So I could not find any Honda Accords of roughly that year with anything even in the same ballpark as that mileage. So that car had really low mileage. I think it was like 75,000 miles. It was barely driven. I think I looked very hard, and I think there was like nothing in my area. I don't even think there was anything in my state. I think I ended up searching across different states, and I finally found one. I think it had like over twice the mileage, and it was still more expensive than what the insurance company was willing to pay. So that was ridiculous. Yeah, I forgot to talk about it, but yeah, when I was getting out the roasting pan to cook the turkey, it was spider infested. So I found a whole bunch of webs built up, and some dead spiders, and a live spider. And the spider, the shape and size of it really reminded me of a black widow, but it wasn't black, and it didn't have the signature hourglass. I'm not sure, so I don't know what kind of spider it was, but yeah, I didn't want to get bitten. But yeah, I did get it. I think I got some video, a short video. So the spider was trying to avoid my camera. and then it was starting to try to crawl, to escape, so I had to stop and make sure it didn't get away. I wasn't sure, so I know female black widows, look like the signature, what you expect. I thought I remember that male black widows actually might look like different coloring, and they may not have the hourglass signature. So might still. I'm not sure. I'm assuming they're still dangerous. So. So I don't want that one to escape and bite me later. So as I was washing the pan, yeah, it fell into the water and met its end that way. But yeah, the spiders were effective. They really. So I keep the pan in its original box, and it's closed, and the spiders really got in there. Didn't think it'd be such a interesting spot for them. Didn't think they'd be a great place to build webs to catch insects. Seems like you want something a little more exposed to catch incoming insects, unless they're all running into the box for some reason and then jumping into the web. Probably not going to get any flies or moths out right now. Maybe the crawly bugs. So I still see some food in the bowl. Need the dolls. So there's a little bit of kibble and canned turkey. Looks like he ate all the fresh stuff. So I went for a run tonight, right before I got home to feed Scruffy. And yeah, I left a little too late, so it's getting dark again. But I did manage to get my 4 laps in, so I had just enough time. On my 4th lap, I saw a cat run across the field, out into the street, into somebody's driveway. Not sure what cat it was. I could only see kind of a silhouette. Might have been the far end twin, but I really don't know. But yeah, I was surprised that he'd run into somebody's driveway like that. So there was a light on in the driveway. I'm not sure if the motion sensor happened to pick up the cat from really far away, or if it was already on and the cat was maybe going there because maybe there's somebody there who feeds him. I didn't see anyone out though. Okay, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.